Okay, so to start Kahoot, let's open up a new tab in your browser. Go to kahoot.com. So the first thing you're going to do is sign up for a Kahoot account. So go to sign up. Okay, sign up as the teacher since you'll be using this as teachers. And now we'll just use our Gmail accounts that we set up for the NWU, right, Gmail accounts. So sign up. So our school, let's put Nebraska Wesleyan. Username, let's just do take an NWU. So do your first initial last name, NWU, and then your Gmail. You played Kahoot before, yes. You can read the Kahoot stuff. I do not wish to receive information. Do not send me information. And then join. Okay. And personalize if you want to go through all that. I'm not going to do all that. All right. So that's how you would actually sign up for Kahoot, right? Join the Kahoot team, whatever they would call it. Okay. So how do we create a new Kahoot? There are a couple ways. The easiest way is just go to this new K exclamation point. You can see we have 4 different types of Kahoots. You get some other information about the Kahoots that you have, so you shouldn't have any just yet. The first one we're going to do is a quiz. Okay, now in all Kahoots, this first screen pops up. This actually isn't the Kahoot just yet. It's what you're going to name the Kahoot. You can attach images, videos, and some other descriptions. So let's do this. Let's call this class activity. I already have a class activity, so I'm going to call this class activity 2. The description here, you're going to write your description so that people can search for your Kahoots. So if you want to hashtag some key topics, just make your description complex enough or hardy enough that someone can search your Kahoots if you want people to be able to search them. Okay, so I'm just going to put this as a 2870 class activity. And then you can upload some images. So to upload your own images, you can drag and drop, or you can go to this Getty Images. And then here you have the actual topics, and then here are the images. So once you pick an image, just hit plus. Right, this will add the image, and then pretty straightforward, right? Remove the image or replace the image. So I don't need an image, I'm going to take that off. Anytime you see a question mark, you can just hover over it, and it'll give you a description of what that particular item is. So this visible to me, think of this just like the sharing for Google. Right? Only you can own this, you can duplicate it, you can edit your Kahoots, or you can make it public. Everyone can do it. Right? So I want this to only be me. Language is English, right? You can choose whatever language you want. And then audience, we're going to do for school. And then the credit resources, so maybe you have some questions from a textbook or, I don't know, colleagues or peers. You know, give them credit. You get an introductory video. Make a note that these videos are YouTube, so it'll support YouTube videos. And once we're good, we hit OK. All right, so once we fill out all our kind of our titles and our top level part of Kahoot, here's our Kahoot. You can see that we have our name, we have our description. It tells me who it's owned by. Right? The pencil means edit, so if you want to go back and edit all that stuff, you can. And here's where we create our questions. So hit the plus sign, add a question. And now here's our question. So let's type in anything, right? Let's do, how about what color is the sky? All right, so that's my question. You can see I have formats here. I can bold, italicize, superscript, subscript, or special characters if you want to put in special characters. Again, I can attach images here. So do the Getty Images, drag and drop your image, or you can do a YouTube video. Right? But again, it's got to be YouTube. Time limit. So here's how much time students can take to read the question and answer the question. 20 seconds seems like a lot, but it goes by quickly. So you can do anywhere from 5 to 120 in special increments. This is a quiz. You can assign points. Toggle buttons. You can turn the points on and off if you want. All right, and then here are our answers. Right, so just like a Google form, this is our multiple choice. We have 4 answers. Right? You have to at least type in 2. So let's do, how about blue, how about red, how about green, how about white. Okay? And so to select the correct answer, you just select the checkbox. You can select more than one answer if you like, and these are just toggle buttons. So if I select it again, it'll toggle them on and off. So let's say I'll accept blue and white. Again, you have credits, so you can credit people. Go to next when you create your question. You can see there's question 1. So let's add another question. Why What color is grass? Same deal. All right. How about let's do blue, red, green, and white. Right, so this time I have one answer. Next. Okay, so now you see we have a couple questions. Just like in Google, any stacked dots always mean you can grab it and hold on and move it. Right, so I click on it with my mouse and I hold the mouse button down and I can move it wherever I want. This lets me know what the color or the question is. Time limit, which I can change. Right. And then we have our standard options. So click edit to go back into the question. Two squares on top of each other always mean duplicate, so you can duplicate the question. And then trash can means delete. Right. So I don't need this question again. I duplicate them if you're kind of have the same distractors, the same answers, so you don't have to keep typing them in all the time. So maybe blue, red, green, white. I can change the question and not have to change the answers all the time. Yeah. Okay, I don't need 3. So let's delete. Well, we just continue to repeat that process, so we have all the questions we want. Then you hit save to finish. And now our Kahoot has been created. Before we go to the My Kahoot screen, it gives us options. You can go back and edit it. You can preview your Kahoot, you can play the Kahoot, or you could share it. Right? But we can do all this in the My Kahoot part too, so let's hit I'm done. Okay, so before we move on, let's actually answer the check for understanding. So we can do 1 and 2. Okay, so URL address, right? Kahoot.com. How do you create a Kahoot? Do the top right, the purple new K with an exclamation point. Right, so right up there. Okay, so now we have some Kahoots. You go to My Kahoots, right? Cleverly named. So if you click that, we're on this screen already. But if you ever want to get to where your Kahoots are located, just hit My Kahoots. And you can see I have a few Kahoots. You should only have one. So the first thing is when you hover over the Kahoot, see how I get options? So when my cursor is away, I don't see the options. But when I hover, I do see them. So I can actually click the Kahoot to access it. I can edit it to access it. Right? I can duplicate it, delete it. I can change the Kahoot from public to private. That's a key feature. So if you have Kahoots that you want, I don't know, to turn on at a certain time, then make them public, and then turn them off, make them private. You just click Make It Public, and now it's public. So you can see all 3 of these are public. Make it private, and just make it private. All right? Okay, so how do we play a Kahoot? So we click Play, and we get to our nice Play screen. So it tells me the name of the Kahoot, and so now I have 2 choices, either make it Classic or Team Mode. Classic is just how it reads here, 1 player, 1 device. And then team mode is multiple players on 1 device. The difference is that if you do select team mode, Kahoot built-in will have a time that it lets students discuss. So there'll be a built-in kind of extra time span where students can discuss their answers. Right? And in the classic mode, goes right into the questions and the answers. Okay, below we have a little drop-down menu here. These are our game options. And you can read all these, click the view details. But here you can turn on and off certain options. Right? Enable answer streak bonus, turn it on and off. Right? So these are just toggle buttons. All right? So whatever you want to turn on and off. All right? And if we collapse this, so anytime we go to the Play Kahoot, the first part, we have our classic team, and then we have these game options. Right? And these game options will change based on the actual Kahoot we're playing. So there were the 4 types: the quiz, the jumble, the survey, and the discussion. All right, and we'll get to all that in a little bit. So these should all be a little bit different. All right, so once you pick your Kahoot, let's do Classic. Give it a second to load. And then here's the start of the Kahoot. Right? Nice music. I'm going to turn off. All right, so for students to actually join a Kahoot, they have to type in kahoot.it. So they can access us with any device that has a web browser. Right, so phones, tablets, Chromebooks, any kind of computer, right, as long as there's a web browser. We'll open up another tab. So if you did kahoot.it, so this is what students will see, and then enter the game pin. So here's your game pin. So have them enter this number as the game pin, and then you'll see I need a nickname. So hit OK, go. All right, so that's what students will be doing. It's kind of weird when I'm doing them both at the same time. You can see right here there weren't any names, and now I have my name. Okay, so as students actually log on and put their names in, you'll be in this screen, right? And then you'll see all their names. And then it tells you the number of players. So if you have 26 kids in your class, then you want to wait for this number to be 26, or ask why everyone hasn't logged on yet. Right? If they don't have school appropriate names, or for whatever reason you want to boot them out of the Kahoot, you just go here and click on their username. So once students actually have all logged in, then you just hit start. And then this is what students will see. So I'm going to kind of be fast here. What color is the sky? So you'll project this. And then here are the answers. So on the student tablet, this is what they see. Just the answers, the symbols and the colors. So what color is the sky? Blue, so it's the triangle. Red's the correct answer, right? Or we did white also. So they would select this for the right answer. Okay, and then again, this is the student, so the student will see that they're correct. And once you finish, once everyone answers, then you'll get a little breakdown of the results. So I had one person answer red, and that was the correct, because that's the check mark. Green's also correct, that's the check mark. But if I had more than one student, right, if I wasn't just doing this myself, then they would just be count all the numbers of answers, each distractor. Right, and then you just keep going. So then I'd hit next. Shows us a little summary of the score if it's a quiz. And then I go to question 2. All right, and you can see as I go. And here again is the student view, so the student would answer. Right, this student, I got it wrong that time, so it shows me I had one person answer for the blue, right, or the diamond, right? And then the correct answer was the orange. Hopefully this little example should show you that you don't want to do this with colors. Your answers shouldn't be colors, because then that's just atrocious. Unless you match them up, I guess. I'd make this one red, that blue, but then you have to have answers that are either red, blue, yellow, or green. Okay, but that's how students can engage in Kahoots and how you can play Kahoots. Okay, let's go back to our check for understanding. And we can do 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so how do you play Kahoot? You need to go to My Kahoot, and then in the My Kahoot, you just hit play. All right, difference between classic mode and team mode. Classic is one player, one device. Team mode is multiple players on one device, and then remember there's a built-in time where they can actually discuss before their answers pop up. How do you access the game options? You got to play your Kahoot, and then it's the drop-down menu. And then how do students access? They have to go to kahoot.it. I don't need all the stuff. I'm going to do all that. So let's go to how do we edit things. So once we highlight, let's click in our class activity. I can also click the edit button. Let's go into the Kahoot itself. Once I select the Kahoot, you can see it gives me all the questions that are in the Kahoot. If I click this, it'll show me the answers. I have some options here. Again, I can play it, challenge, and you'll notice, I kind of skipped over this. If I go back, I have a challenge here as well. Challenge is just, Kahoot kind of thinks it's homework. So challenge really just means you don't have to play the Kahoot right there and then. You can set up a deadline. So this Kahoot will be active until Thursday, May 3rd at 12 p.m. So students have to log on and actually take the Kahoot sometime that's not in your class. All right, so that's the challenge part. All right, so if we go back, so I can challenge here, just like Google, 3 dots always means more. All right, so I can edit. So I go to edit, brings me into my questions, just where like we were before. All right, so that's how we can edit. You'll notice too, if we go back, oh, not that far back. Let's go back to our Kahoot. 3 dots. Here's where I can actually access my results. It's a little misleading, so if we click this, these are all my Kahoot results, not the results for that particular Kahoot, right? So I think that's a little misleading. And then we'll get to all these saves and how we save our results. Right? Okay, let's go back to our check for understanding. So how do you access the edit menu? Access the edits, you just highlight over it and you can either click on the Kahoot or you can just go straight into the edits. Right? How do you change from public to private? Again, highlight and then public to private, right on the bottom there. Okay, now let's go to the save results and access your results. So again, let's run through it. We click on our Kahoot. 3 dots means more. Go to our results. Again, these are all the results. So any one of these results, you can click download, which will download the results to your desktop. So just click download to desktop. Or you can save it directly to your Google Drive. Let's do that. I'm gonna give it some time. Save. JNW, perfect. It's an Excel file, so we'll open it when it saves to our drive. But it'll put it right in my drive, and this will be the name of the Kahoot file. So save it. Okay, it's been saved. Say thanks. Here you can play it again, or you can share the link. Okay, so that's 8 or 9 and 10. Right? How do we save our results? Actually, how do we access them first, right? All right, so how do you access the results? Click on your Kahoot, go to the 3 dots, and then click results. Right, select results, and then save. Just click the button you want to save, either download to your desktop or save to your drive. All right, let's see if it's in my drive yet. There it is. All right, so it's right at the top level of your drive. And so if we open it, okay, so here are our results. And notice there are tabs. So here's an overview. You can click on the final scores. You can click on the question summaries. And then it has by question. Here's question 1. And it's all kind of just descriptors, right? Percentages and who answered what. And then you also, the last tab, you have raw data. Those are the results. All right, so I don't need those. Okay, let's do our kind of to the end here. So let's do the difference between quiz, jumble, and discussion. All right, so remember, to create a new Kahoot, we'll just go to new K, right, exclamation point. And here I have quiz, jumble, discussion, and survey. Those are my 4 options. And here's the difference, right? A quiz is actually just a set of questions, as many questions as you want, and points can be assigned. That's the quiz, right? A discussion is only one question, but no points can be assigned, right? And a survey are multiple questions, and no points can be assigned. Okay, so think of a survey just like a quiz, except for a survey doesn't have a correct answer, so you don't assign points. Right, and that's kind of sounds intuitive, right? Quiz, points, surveys for opinions, so no points. And then discussion is just a survey, but only one question. All right, so it's kind of a very limited survey. Right, and you will create the questions the exact same way. All right, a jumble is a little bit different. Let's go into the jumble. So a title, all that stuff. Let's actually create our jumble. So how about jumble? And then how about this is a jumble? And then me, it's all the same options here. Let's do it for school again, no credits. Let's hit OK. Okay, let's add our first question. All right, but when you do your question, notice I have 4 answers now, and they're all required, but they're not the multiple choice answers. This is 1 of 4, 2 of 4, 3 of 4, 4 of 4. So what a jumble is you have to put the answers, the 4 responses, in the correct order. So jumbles are order based. Right, so that's the deal. So if you had maybe a process, how to solve something, you want them to tell you what the process is, or any kind of stepwise process, or maybe a timeline, something like that. Right? But a jumble is place the 4 items in order, in whatever order that fits the context. All right. Okay, I don't need all that, so I'm gonna exit. I don't really want to create one. Okay, so those are the difference. So points, survey no points, discussion 1 question, and jumble, you have to order the responses. Right? Okay, so there you go. So we can fill out 11. Right? So quiz, many questions you want, you can award points. A jumble, you have to order the responses. Discussion is a survey with only 1 question, and a survey is kind of a quiz, multiple questions, but with no right answers, no points. Okay, how do you search? So go to Kahoot if you want to go find Kahoots. There are thousands of these Kahoots. So let's say I want to do the quadratic formula. And I just search whatever I want in normal search bar. And then here are all the Kahoots. So I could just pop one up real fast, click on it. And you can see now we're in that, when I clicked on my Kahoots, it's the same screen here. So I can play it, I can use it as a challenge, I can duplicate, right? I can preview it, share it, report it, all that good stuff. All right, so that's how we can find other people's Kahoots. All right, that's our second to last question. So how do you find someone's? Just go to Kahoot, right? Well, Kahoot.com, we're always there, I guess. And then do the search bar. Just search in the actual web page. Okay, let's go back to my Kahoots. So last thing is if we want to embed these Kahoots on a website or get a URL address. Let's actually go to my Kahoot again. Okay, you'll see on the bottom left, here is the Kahoot address. So if I actually copy this address, paste it in the tab, right, you can see it actually puts me right to the play screen. So this is the exact same screen where if I hit play, right, this is where I would be. Right? So that URL address is this play screen. Okay, I want to tell you one thing though. You can actually be a little bit more, I don't know, advanced is the right word. But let's say I do all my options, I select my options however I want, and then I hit classic. And now I'm on the ready to join screen. You'll notice if I copy and paste this URL, then I'm one step past the play screen. I'm actually on that join screen. So the take home here, if you want to embed a Kahoot URL, you can actually copy and paste the URL at any stage you want. So you don't have to only do this one where it's the kind of play stage. You can progress through your Kahoot. So I wouldn't have to, right, if I start at this screen, then I don't have to pick all the options again. I don't have to pick classic again. I'm already started. All right, so that's the key. You can embed whatever URL you want at whatever stage you want. Okay, all right, so that's it. So then how do you embed? Well, go to whatever stage in the Kahoot you want, copy the URL address, and then on your website, right? So if I went to my website, here's my address. Right. So let's go to the bottom, let's embed, I hit paste, I'll embed this website, and then here's my embedded URL. Right? Okay, so let's see what this looks like. Go to preview. I scroll down. Here's my Kahoot that I just did the embed for. I click, and you can see it starts me at this join screen. Okay, so that's how you can embed a Kahoot on your website. All right, that's it.